Hey everyone, and welcome to Wednesday Work Wisdom. Thanks for joining. I don't know if any of you have the new Facebook, but of course, 3 seconds before I log in here to come on, don't you know I have the brand new Facebook and they moved absolutely everything. So typical, right? Anyways, I hope everyone's having a great week, and I thought that was pretty funny. Um, we're going to chat personal branding today. So, one of the biggest keys to success in our current state of uncertainty is the constant quest to learn and doing as much as we can to get us to where we need to be in our careers. And as I've been talking about, a lot of this lies with us in taking the action and actually doing the things that we need to do. But one of the things that I always find with job seekers is personal branding is so confusing for them. And that's fine, no judgment, but that just means that now is the time to take that power back to learn and to figure out and to adjust and to take action on that and to take steps towards figuring that out and how that affects you in your job search. So the way I look at it is if the COVID crisis has already closed one door, then it's important to use it to open up another one, because things are not going to automatically go back and be the same the way it was before this. So, if you open up enough doors, you'll find the right one and you're going to find ultimately the right opportunity, right? You do enough interviews and you're going to land something. But let's talk personal brand. So like I said, I know that this is so confusing for so many job seekers, and that's fine because this becomes a maze. Your brand is essentially marketing yourself and your career expertise, your professional expertise, your industry, your skills, and what you've been doing in your career. And it signals what you stand for, what you've accomplished, and what you're capable of achieving. So what it is that you want to do in the future and things like that. So having a personal brand is going to provide you with so many benefits when it comes to finding a new job, staying relevant, and getting ahead as far as setting yourself apart from the competition. So when people ask me, how do I figure out what all of this is? I always say, think of one thing. What is your superpower that sets you apart from everyone else? What is that one thing? And ultimately, that's what we want to market, because that's what's going to set you apart. That is what's going to make you memorable. That's what's going to make you the candidate that they want to hire. So, I'm sure you know this, but hiring managers scour the web just like everyone else. But for them, the goal is researching job applicants. And right, that's what LinkedIn's for. This is why we push using LinkedIn and getting your personal brand right for on LinkedIn. But you want to stay ahead of the game by making sure that when your name hops up, they're going to find information that's flattering. We don't want them to find things that are going to not make you look like a great candidate, or things that you don't want them to know about you. So you want to put your best foot forward and show yourself in the best light possible. So having a consistent brand lets potential employers know that you are goal-oriented, you have a master plan for your career, even if you feel like you don't, right? They don't have to know that. So that you're at least focused on you have a focused strategy, and you're focused on that strategy to achieve your goals. So a consistent personal brand is a marketing tool. And what this does is it serves as your own personal billboard. And I know some people think, wow, isn't that bragging? No, there's a big difference. And it's one that's supposed to evolve and change over time. This is not something that's meant to be static. This is not meant to be boring. This is not meant to be the same thing over and over and over every single day, week, whatever. You are supposed to use your personal brand to tell your own story, explain your core values, and to offer details about your skills, your passions that may not come up in traditional job search formats. But also, your personal brand is something that's supposed to align when you're looking for a job, right? So, this is something that's supposed to align when you're looking for a role and to know that your skills and your values are aligned. And ultimately, your values, because you want to find the culture that aligns with you and who you are. And personal branding also goes beyond LinkedIn. It speaks to your entire social media presence, and it's important in order to set yourself apart from the competition. I know a lot of people just pay attention to LinkedIn, which is important. I'm not going to put it down. But, if you have a Facebook page that's a mess, or a website that's a mess, it's just as easy to go to Google and find out than it is to find you on LinkedIn. So you want to make sure that they're all up to par. Otherwise, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. And it's going to set you behind. You don't want to do that. So what I'm not going to do is use this time to talk to you about creating a personal brand, because if you need help with your presence, then what I'm going to do is urge you to stick around and learn how to schedule time with me so we can work one-on-one on how to do that, because it won't be the same for everyone. But if you're having trouble and if you're struggling, I want you to be sure that you're not making any of these mistakes. And this is one of the biggest ones that I see all the time. Having an unfocused brand. The goal of brand building is to create a consistent message so that people automatically equate you with what you do best. Show off some of your most recent written work, or any type of work really. It will help you reinforce your professional skills and help hiring managers when they search your social media profiles. This is the most important thing, because I find that people have a hard time with the consistency part, and it becomes unfocused. Or they don't know what to focus on, so it's unfocused. The second one, excessive self-praising. And unfortunately, some people do praise themselves excessively. But this is very similar to overselling, but with much more of a focus on how great you are and how employers simply can't operate without you. But the cold hard truth is that people will lose interest quickly, and that this will in turn hurt your image. This isn't going to help you. You want to self-promote wisely. But at the same level, you do not want to undersell yourself. So if you did something, you want to take credit for it. You want to make sure that you're taking credit for anything that you did. It doesn't mean everything that you did. You don't want to leave out a team member or something like that, but you have to make sure that you take credit wisely. And you have to make sure that you are attributing to it wisely. In other words, make sure that all of the stats are smart. Make sure that they are truthful and honest. A recruiter or a hiring manager can see right through it. So they will know if you're lying. They will know if you're inflating numbers or things like that. So you want to make sure that you're doing that properly. Infrequent posting. So this is what I said. People have a hard time with consistency. Developing a personal brand isn't a one and done process. This is not meant to be static. It'll require constant upkeep, checking in, maintaining, things like that. You can set up a LinkedIn profile, but just because it's there doesn't mean that that's it. You're done. You have to do updates. You have to network. You have to connect. You have to do all kinds of things. You can't just set it up and then leave it and expect it to just work, because that won't happen. So you don't want to do infrequent posting. Same thing with the website. You have to keep that up too. And it's the same thing with anything else, really, any social media presence. You want to make sure that you're being doesn't mean you have to be on it all day, every day, but if you post once a day or twice a day, be consistent. So you should always share your work, share the work of others that you find interesting and that you find appealing, and that, you know, their values align with yours, and that their brand objectives and goals are also aligned with yours. Another mistake: do not divulge too much information. Sure, social media is meant for sharing thoughts, ideas, likes, dislikes, and we're in the middle of an election, so we don't want to go there either, right? If we go there, that could really hurt you. You don't want to share too much info. There are certain things that a recruiter doesn't mind reading, and there's certain things that they definitely do. So you have to be careful what you put out there. So remember, you're searching for a job. Although you do need to share some parts of your personal life online, because that's how people will be able to network with you and to be able to connect with you. But you want to be selective and thoughtful. The key to personal branding is to decide what you intend to do and then invite other people to join you on that path. So you're telling a story. And when you start telling that story, you have to invite other people to come on that journey with you. And if they're not aligned with that and they don't want to come on that journey, then see ya, bye. You don't want them. So if you don't know what kind of a job you want, if you don't know what it is that you want to do, if you're confused, you're trying to change careers, change industries, you're going to have a hard time branding yourself for the jobs that you want, because what are you trying to align yourself with and for? So then your branding will be unfocused, indistinct, and confusing. And if you can't understand it, how can someone else? So personal branding for job seekers is important because it will help you land a position in a company that fits your brand and aligns with your values. But this is where, if you're having trouble creating one, then I invite you to come book some time with me. Don't hesitate to reach out. I'm going to leave a link in the comments so you can schedule your session, and I can diagnose what's going on, form a plan of action with you, and we can correct it. And by doing this, you'll walk away with much more clarity, and it will be able to set you apart from your competition and get you ahead in your search a lot quicker. Feel free to DM me if you have any questions, or email me if you have any questions. Probably easier just to send me a direct message. But thanks for joining today, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys next week. And I hope everyone has a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and if there's anything you need, just reach out and let me know.